Good evening. My name is Keith Miller. I'm a 64-year-old African American. My my video is about anyone over 50 years old that owe child support to the state of California, specifically the county of Riverside. I'm making this video as an informational video because I know what it's like to go through child support enforcement. I know how treacherous and demeaning that they can be, and how aggressive they are in collecting child support. I myself am not a resistor of child support. I've always cooperated with California Department of Child Support, Riverside County specifically. I've always, when they first notified me in 1984 that Corrine Wilson had a child by me, I knew I was the father. I did not object to it. I had a good job. I had remarried. My wife was a compassionate, caring woman, and she said I should step up to the plate. Matter of fact, she was my second wife. I had a son in a previous relationship, but there was no problem with that. Okay? So my current wife, Patsy, she said, we should take care of that kid. You should do what you got to do. I agreed. So I called Miss Wilson, managed to find out her number and called her and said, I need a copy of my son's birth certificate. I'm not disputing that it is my son. Send me a copy of his birth certificate. I'm going to go down to my job and I'm going to get him on my health insurance immediately. Then she said, well, I'm on welfare. I said, that's okay. Let them do what they got to do. So eventually, now, before that happened, let me digress for a moment. This is a copy of the original child support order that was filed against me. In this order, they have on as exhibit 1. In this order, exhibit 1, I'm just gonna give you a portion of it. Exhibit 1, box X, it says confidential paternity investigation admitted as Riverside County Exhibit 2. So they did a confidential investigation on me. So they knew my name, my address, where I live. They knew who I was employed with. They knew that I was a new homeowner, and they knew I was at the time, back in 1984, I was a middle-class African-American with a good government job, working with a wife, just bought a new house. So, bang. So, they got all that information, okay? So, in May 1984, I get a letter telling them, I call the district attorney, and I tell him, okay, I'm not going to fight y'all on this. Tell me what you want. And he said, we want $175 in child support, and you need to make an arrangement. So I said, well, how much you want for reimbursement of the welfare benefits that was paid February the 2nd, 1981 through March 30, 1984. Because they could only go back 3.5 years. That was just the law at that time. So I agreed. Okay, send me the paperwork. I hear nothing from them. I hear nothing. Next thing I know, my federal income tax is hijacked by them. $5,158. Do you know how much money $5,158 was back in 1984? We had just bought a new house. Me and my wife was working. We were hurting. I mean, we wasn't hurting, but I mean, that was a lot of money. We had plans for that. So they took my money, okay? But then, I don't want to digress because I'm trying to put a message out here that these people, it's been, like my son currently on this date, August 27th, 2019, he is 43 years old. I am still paying child support. Even though they said I only owed welfare reimbursement. You hear that? I only owe welfare reimbursement. Okay, let's look at that. Hold on. I can't pause this thing because last time I paused it, I lost and I had to start all over again. So I'm not going through that. So you're going to have to bear with me. Those of you who owe money and been out there dealing with child support in California, you should have the patience to let me go and give you the information you need to know. I've been representing myself. That's right. I tried to get a lawyer. I'm going to digress for a minute. I tried to get a lawyer. Yes, I did. I went to California, tried to get a lawyer. And they told me if they accepted my case, that their other cases would be in jeopardy. And I said, how is that? They said, your case goes to the heart of the problem that's with Riverside County Department of Child Support Services. If we go up against them, against your case, you are saying that they are lying, providing misinformation to the court, that they are conspiring to do your... He said, all my other clients would be at jeopardy. I got that from 4 different lawyers in California. Okay. So I decided, well, I'll represent myself then. I said, it's pretty cut and dry. I've been paying child support. My kid is living with, not immediately. Let me tell you the progression. Okay. I can't freeze the thing, but I do have a chronology of events, so I'm going to skip forward. I'm going to skip forward to where the hell started, okay? However, I'm going to give you the order of events. On 6/11/1984, they got a judgment order against me for child support. I was declared the father. I was supposed to pay $175 per month in child support, paid bi-weekly because I was working for the government. We get paid bi-weekly, so naturally they're going to get bi-weekly payment. Commencing on May 1st, 1984. Repay attorney fees $500 and court costs of $92. Made payable to the probation officer back in the time. That's what was going on. The order of wage assignment pursuant to a section 4701 for current support and reimbursement, said wage assignment to be issued forthwith. Now, forthwith means immediately. However, Riverside County, California did not. Now, let me explain what reimbursement means. Reimbursement is the act of compensating someone for an out-of-pocket expense by giving them an amount equal to what was spent. In other words, reimbursement meant I had to give California back the amount of child welfare benefits that they paid for my son during the period February 1st, 1981 through April 30th, 1984. And that amount was $5,157. Period. Okay. So, let's move forward. Let's go to where it really got stuck. Miss Wilson signed a pre-completed child support questionnaire, notice and agreement prepared by DCSS personnel on December 4th, 1990, to avoid not having enough money to provide a good Christmas for her children, so she could come to the tactics of Riverside County and sign an assignment agreement on December 4th, 1990. You hear what I'm saying? They had denied her welfare for 6 months prior to that. They denied her welfare, and the only thing they gave her during that period, July, August. Okay, I got it right here. Hold on. Stay with me. Don't run off. Here you go, right here. No, that's not it. I dropped it. No, that's not it. Hold on. Don't run off. Stay with me. Here it is. I found it. This right here. This is an AFDC expenditure. This shows the exact amount of money they paid to Miss Wilson. Well, let me be clear. The amount listed says that it was for 3 people. Miss Wilson, my baby mama, her second child, Watnika, and my son, who was her second child and her first child. It says here, during the period of every one of these dates and months from 1981 says the amount that I owe plus 2. You see that? It said plus 2. That means it was for her, her daughter, and my son. But I'm only liable for child support that was paid for my son. Okay? I'm not responsible for child support they paid to her for herself or her daughter. So let me go on. But because they know I was well-to-do, let me show you here. During the period July 1990 through November 1990. There you go right there. You should be able to see. July through November 1990. You see that? All the months are 0. But during those months, they gave her the $175 a month I was paying her for child support. But they gave her no AFDC, no food stamp, nothing. So she finally succumbed to her pressure, their pressure, and on December the 4th, 1990, she signed an agreement signing away her child support right to California. Okay? So they coerced that. They coerced her, intimidated her into taking. But I found out, and I don't want to digress, but I found out that's against the law. Because there was a case in New York where they denied child welfare benefits to an immigrant, and he filed a case that went all the way to the Supreme Court. I got the case, but I don't want to go there right now. His name was Kelly. I know his name was Kelly. And the United States Supreme Court ruled that you cannot deny welfare benefits to a person without an administrative hearing. Well, they didn't give Miss Wilson an administrative hearing when they denied her child support. I mean her food stamps and welfare for 5 months. They forced her into capitulation, so she had to sign it because Christmas was coming. Her kids was expecting something for Christmas, and all she was getting was $175 from me. So they coerced her into signing that agreement. Okay, that's just one thing. So let's move on. On August the 31st, 1991, Riverside County terminated all welfare benefits to Corrine Wilson, my baby mama, my son Keith Anthony Miller Jr., and her daughter Wanika. Terminated welfare benefits to all of them. No hearing, no determination, no nothing. Just terminated them. Okay? That's what happened on August 31st, 1991. On September the 1st, 1991, my son was with me. Miss Wilson said, I can't do nothing. I ain't got no welfare. I'm trying to find a job. I got my daughter. I can't take care of. Go stay with your daddy. So he came and stayed with me around July. It was summertime. So he stayed with me, but the Riverside County Department of Child Support Services found out that he was in California. So they terminated all benefits. Not just the benefits for my son, since he was no longer with his mama in California. They terminated benefits to her and her daughter, who was a minor at the time. I'm telling you, California Riverside is a bunch of crooks. But I tell you, I got them. I'm just like Al Sharpton. I got you. Okay? I got you. Okay? I didn't do it that great. Okay, so on 9/1, I informed them. I said, look, my son, no, it wasn't 9/1. Hold it. I got the answer for you right here. Here's a final decision. See that? Final decision and order. This was when I tried to get child support for her, for my son's mama, because they said the child wasn't with me. So I said I filed this on behalf of Corrine Wilson. You see her name right there? Corrine Wilson. I filed it on behalf of her. And I'm going to tell you what it said. I'm going to show you. I ain't scared. There's that. I acted as her representative. Okay? I represented her. These are just some notes I got on here. But listen here. Let's go over here. Let's go over to a special section. Oh, here, they got it in here on this thing when I filed for child support for that they give the child support to her while my son was here with me in St. Louis and she was in California for the period September the 1st, 1991 through November the 30th, 1995. I had school records. I'll show them to you later. School records that showed he was with me going to school. And they told me that wasn't enough to give me back the child support they took from me while my son was living with me in St. Louis. So I filed this on behalf of Corrine. And this is the final decision. You see that final decision? I filed this on her behalf. Me and her got together and said, hey, baby, they won't give it to me. Maybe they'll give it to you. Because they damn sure ain't got no damn right to it. Okay. Okay. They took me to court. I filed an appeal. Went to the appeal court. And look at this. Would you believe it? These crooks over in California, they got so much connection. They could tell the truth and not even worry about it. They could tell the truth and the court won't even believe it. They could tell the court, oh yeah, wait a minute, let me find it. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Look at here. We was under oath, me and California. We both under oath. I'm appearing on telephone, they appearing in person. And they told the court, right here, see that? Look at that. Look at that right there. You see that on that? September 26, 1991. Let me go into that. Part 9. On September 26, 1991, me, the obligator, wrote a letter to the local child support office agency stating in pertinent part, since the son resided with me during the month of June, August 1988 and 1989, residing with me in July 1991 and continued presently, during which time support payments have continued. I believe the full amount of my support payment made during these periods, the child was with me, my son was with me, and presently should be credited to the total amount of the arrears or refunded to me as an overpayment, which I do hereby request. I am requesting that effective on verification of the content of this letter, that an adjustment will be made to reduce the amount of child support deducted from the amount agreed to for payment towards arrears only. So I told him, you can keep taking the money for the arrears that I owe y'all, but stop taking child support. I got my son here. I got to take care of the boys going to high school. He need football gear. He got extracurricular. He want a driving license. I got to buy him a little old piece of car. Oh my God, y'all taking my money. I can't pay y'all to take care of, and plus, well, don't let me leave. Where is it? Where's my picture? Oh my God. Anyway, stay with me. Don't run off. Oh, here we go. My 3 sons, Anthony, Keith, and Junior. Junior is the one this case is about. So I'm trying to tell you, Junior is the one this case is about. Anyway, so I'm saying, look y'all, stop taking child support. Continue to take the money you say I owe for the the welfare reimbursement. I ain't got no problem with that. But these people, the greedy, selfish, self-centered, only for the county. They didn't give a damn about my son, whether I could afford to help him play football or buy him a little piece of car or get him a little outfit so he could take a little hammer out there. They didn't care. They didn't give a shit. So what they did, they continue to take my money. I'm fighting them. They taking my income tax. I had one of my toes amputated in an industrial accident, and they took $11,290 from me. I got my toe cut off, and they took $11,290 from me for child support. For child support. I ain't got to that yet. Okay. So, they do this. But let me tell you what else they did in the hearing when I tried to get the money for Corrine. Look at this. They said, hold on, give me a second. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how dirty these zombies is. Hold on. In item 10, right there, you might not see what it exactly all it said, but in item 10, this is what it said. The local child support agency received school records that verified that the minor was in the home of me for the period of September the 1st, 1991 to November 30, 1995. The local child support agent did not charge child support for this period, and child support ended August 31st, 1991. Say what? Say what? So, I tell you what. However, the obligated was and still is responsible to repay the permanently charged arrears, even though the dependent was in his care. In other words, he's paying the back payment for welfare reimbursement, but that ain't enough for us. We gonna take the current child support too. He gonna give us all the money. He's just obligated to pay us the amount he owe on the arrears, but we gonna take the current child support and deny him the opportunity to provide benefits to his child who's still a minor, going to school, living with him with needs and wants. So they decide, oh, we'll just keep it all. Fuck them. Okay. That's what they did then. So, we move forward. Everything good. Ain't nobody mad but me and a hell bunch of me. So I decided, okay, I'll have to fight this myself. So, on October the 6th, 2010, I asked for a hearing regarding wage assignment. I asked for a hearing. But when the hearing come up, it appears that they asked for the hearing, not me. They were able to switch it around and say they asked for the hearing. So they put me in the defense. They didn't want to be in a defensive position because that means they would have to prove something. So they put themselves in the plaintiff position so they could say, oh, he just complaining because we doing our job. Okay, so that was. Okay, they rejected notice to send Keith A. Miller a request to hearing. I received a letter from on December the 1st, 2010, forgive me. And they said that I owed welfare reimbursement. They said the payment dated 7/15/1985 because that's when they took me and my wife at the time child income tax in 1985. They said, this is how they explain it. The payment date is 7/15/1985 for $5,158 is the first payment listed. There is also a $1 credit representing the difference between the amount collected, $5,158, and the amount required to satisfy the the amount of reimbursement order in the judgment. So they admitted they took $5,158 from me, and it was $1 over the amount that they needed to pay the back welfare arrears of $5,157. But I'm tell you what they did. This explains why Riverside County changed the effective date from 4/30/84, the last period cover showing that I owe welfare reimbursement for 2/1/81 through 4/30/84. They changed the date on that payment to June '84. So they made it look like that payment was part of the welfare reimbursement. A welfare arrears when it wasn't. It was a separate payment that I was paying on that, notwithstanding current child support. So they took that and they fictitiously came up with some numbers. Okay, let's fast forward. I don't want to keep you with this all night, but if those of you who are going through this, you need to listen. You need to watch this, because I found out that they crooks, and I was able to get them. I was able to get them on the rope, and I got them on the rope. Then they pulled a legal maneuver that I said, damn, I did my research. But let's hold on before I get to that. Okay. Now, before I go any further, I got to go back. I got to go back to a document I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know it existed until just last year. This is 2019. This stuff happened back in 1989. And I found out that this document existed. I said, how is that? Okay, hold on with me. And the only way I found that document was this. You know what this is right here? Look at it. I hope you can read it. This right here, let me tell you what this is. This is a Freedom of Information request. I had to do a Freedom of Information request to get copies of the stuff that they were doing to me. I called them and asked them, send me a copy of all the withholding orders that you have filed against me, all of you that you filed. I had to do a Freedom of Information. And the only reason that when I asked Riverside County for these documents, they told me, we're not allowed to give you those documents. But me being a little bit dumb, I heard about the Freedom of Information Act. California found out that California had one. So I requested it. And I got this. Now, the original child support order they filed against me said I was supposed to pay $175 a month for child support starting in May 1984. Okay? Under the Freedom of Information Act, your request for record. This letter responds to your Public Record Act request, which was received by the Department of Child Support Services. In your request, you ask DCS to provide copies of all forms income withholding order for child support submitted through the Uniform Interstate Family Security Act. Later, you asked for a specific form. You damn right I asked for a specific form, because I know it was one form out there that was screwing me. So, I emailed you on February 22nd, 2019, clarified your request. You responded to me acknowledging you wanted all income order forms during your case and that you would accept them by email. I did. I didn't want to give them no damn. You could email me the whole damn thing. So they did. They sent me an email file. Boom. All it. Look at here. Look. That's just the first page. That's the second page. All those income withholding orders. Every job I got, they took money from. I have a part-time job and a regular job. They took money from the part-time job and the regular job. I got income withholding orders up the ass. But let's go back. They already acknowledged. Let me go back to the other document. Hold on. Right here. Riverside County, the local child support agency received school records that verified that the minor child was in his home of me for the period of September the 1st, 1991 to November the 30th, 1995, during which time he was 19 years old, 5 months. The state of California said child support ends at the age of 18 unless the kid is going to school. Okay, my kid was going to school until November the 30th, 1995, at which time, don't let me leave you hanging. So, what do you say to that, Brother Miller? What do you say to that? Well, you say, I got school records. Yes, I do. Here we go. certified copies of school records. Right here. See the school records? Right there. School records. They acknowledge having school records. Showing my son grade, showing what year it was. And let's just go to the last one on here. November 1995. See that? So they had school. I had school records that proved that my son was with me, but they didn't bring those records to the court until I tried to get child support paid that they had took from me during that period. Said, well, my old, he was with his baby mama. Give her the money. They said, hell no, he was with you, and we ain't giving you the money either. Can you believe that shit? They said they wouldn't give it to me. When I told them that the kid was with her, they told the court, no, he wasn't even with his dad. And the court said, that's all right, I'm good with that. And they beat that. That's just wrong, man. You know, but that just showed you how crooked they are. They so crooked. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. But let me tell you something. They got an order against me. Listen to this. You ain't gonna believe this. But the shit happened. And this is how crooked California is. California Riverside is the crookedest crook. They don't give a damn about child support. They don't give it. Now listen to this. Pay attention real closely. You have to be careful, brother. If they charging you all that money for child support, let me tell you why they doing it, especially if you got a good job. Nigga, old white folks, they ain't gonna make this specific with black folks. I know some white folks out there getting screwed in their ass too. So I done ran out of Vaseline. So I know you might be still hurting, but use the Vaseline, because they gonna keep on getting it. Anyway, this right here, you see what I said? That is an AFDC thing. And during the whole period, Miss Wilson, my son and her second child was on welfare. Okay? The county of Riverside paid, let's go to the last page. They paid this amount. You see it? $68,275. You see it? $68,275. That's how much welfare benefit they paid for her, her daughter, that's not my daughter, and herself. And let's go back to the hearing where they acknowledged. Oh, the kid was with his daddy. He wasn't with her. She ain't entitled to shit. Just like we told him he wasn't entitled to shit. Okay? Now let me show you something else. You ain't gonna believe this. And they got away with it. No, I mean, everybody out there scared to death of the people in Riverside County. They got the lawyers scared. They got the judges scared. I had a judge told me if I produced the school record, he would give me back my money. I went back out there. They had reassigned that dude to another court because he wanted to be in juvenile court. They said, hey, you know that day, bro? I got his name. I know when he was reassigned. I got all that. You think they give a shit? This is in the appeal court. I'm saying this stuff right here happened in the appeal court. See that Office of Administrative Hearing? You see that? This happened in the court that's supposed to be watching him. And I proved to them that they told the court that the kid was with me. And let me tell you what they said. They said, oh, he was, oh, look here. Remember when I told you about the mama signing that thing on December the 4th because they kept food stamp and welfare from him for 5 months, and right before Christmas she signed it, and listen to this. Now they're going to use that against her. They said, on December the 4th, 1990, Miss Wilson applied for public assistance again in the Riverside County and signed a child support and medical support notice and agreement. This notice informed complainant that you must assign to the county any rights you may have to child or spousal support while you are receiving AFDC benefits. No shit. Well, my son wasn't receiving ADFC benefits during the period September the 1st, 1991 through November the 30th, 1995, but you still collected child support. What's up with that? Okay. Now look, listen to this. This is how they justify it. Listen to this. The local child support records indicate that Miss Wilson received public assistance with the minor child, my son. Listen to how they wrote this. The local child support agency record indicate that complainant, Miss Wilson, received public assistance with the minor child, my son, for the following period. May 1st, 1976 through October 1976, which wasn't even in the damn child support order. The child support order can only go back 3.5 years, and that ended up being February the 1st, 1981. But these assholes went all the way back to 1976, March 1st, 1976. He wasn't born till March the 2nd, 1976. So any welfare she received on March the 1st, 1976 was for her. It couldn't have been for the minor child born on March the 2nd, 1976, could it? Oh, maybe it's a prophecy. I might have missed that. But let me go on. On March the 1st, 1990, okay, let me rephrase it. The local child support agency records indicate that the complainant, Ms. Wilson, received public assistance with the minor child for the following period. March 1st, 1976, he was born on the 2nd, through October the 31st, 1976. Then it jumps, boom, and it drops on February the 1st, 1981. That's what's in the court order. That's what's in the judgment that was filed on June 11, 1984. But anyway, let's not digress. Anyway, she received benefits on February the 1st, 1981 through June the 30th, 1990. Hey, I can just continue. You go to June the 1st, June 1990. That's when they terminated because they didn't have a valid assignment of child support right in file. Because the one they originally had was fraudulent. It was fraudulent. It was dated in 1987, but the date that it was supposed to be effective was in 1984. So they couldn't take that to court. I don't think they could find a judge that would go along. Well, hell no, I can't. I mean, I can buy y'all shit, but I can't buy no shit like that. I mean, you signed it in 1987 and you said it's effective in 1984. The date on the top said 1987. You got a signature at the bottom saying it was signed in 1984. That don't work. I can't do that. So the judge, they had to squash that. That's because they knew I was filing another appeal and they had to go back to court with me. So they had to get a assignment of child support right in the record. So she refused to sign it, so they cut her off welfare. They cut her off welfare for June, July, August, September, October, November. Finally, she was under pressure. Christmas coming up. They was only giving her $175 that I was sending them, and they were taking some of that. So she said, okay, I'll sign the damn paper. I'll sign my rights to child support. Okay, so on December 4th, 1990, she signed the papers. Now look at this. This is what I want you to hear. The local child support record indicates that the complainant received public assistance for the minor child. One child. Just my son. One child. Okay? For the period March 1976, March 1st, 1976 to October 1976, from February 1st, 1981 to June 30, 1990, from December the 1st, 1990 through August 31st, 1991. The total amount of aid received by Miss Wilson was $68,275. Can you get that? Look what it said. The minor child. Ms. Wilson received public assistance with the minor child for the following period, The total amount of aid received by Miss Wilson was $68,275. I don't owe $68,275. I only owe for my son. But they, in the appeal, now look, I sent them a copy of this document right here that I got from the welfare people who said, right there, look what it says. Look at that number right next to it. It said 1 plus 2. That's the parent plus 2 minor kids. Each one of those monthly payment got 1 plus 2 attached to it. But they saying I owe the whole $68,000. They saying that. This is the appeal court. I sent them a copy of this record with this statement, and they ignored it. I don't give a shit about that. We want to get all our money back. We don't give a shit. I don't care if it was for one kid or Miss Wilson. She could have had 5 kids. They could have been $150,000. We want it from your ass because you got a work history. You got a job. Nigga, you know how to go to work. So we want to come after your ass. You a lot easier than going after her second kid's daddy, who happened to be not as fortunate and not as resourceful and not quite a piggy bank as I am. I'm still paying child support. I'm 64. My son is 43. But that ain't all of it. That ain't all of it, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna believe it. I mean, I took them to court. They decided, oh man, I'm almost scared to go there. Here we go. My first filing. Finally got to court. They delayed. So I finally got to court in March 11, 2015. Then they delayed again. Now listen here. Okay, before I go here, I got to go here. I can't stop. I'm just letting you know. I got to stop right here. I'll finish this up like I'm going to say. I stopped at when I first went to court in 2015. So you're going to have to tune back tomorrow and let me finish this shit. But I got so much. Look at here. This is all the paperwork. All this. 26 years of child support enforcement. So I'm going to have to put it on hold. You guys going to have to call back. I'll check you out tomorrow. If you want to see the rest of it, hear the rest of my story. It's got some goods and bad, but it ain't over yet. I got an appeal in the appeal courts of California. I got an appeal coming up. I got 9 days to respond to appeal. I got to have my appeal. Oh yeah. Don't let me tell you this. Riverside County asked that my appeal of the last court hearing be dismissed because I missed the filing deadline. Well, I got till September 9th to respond to that. But I will. Tune back tomorrow or the next day. God bless. Good night.